What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Garage419. It is Tuesday, and today I have Mr. Wes Siler on the program, road test editor of Jalopnik.com and editor of Hell for Leather magazine. What is up, Wes?
Everything's good, man. Thank you.
Thanks for coming to the show. Today we got a big show. We're going to be talking about all the fun that Chrysler's having with our money. We're going to talk about all the fun that electric car companies are having trying to pull one over on us. And we're going to talk about Obama potentially messing up everything for everybody by allowing California to set its own emission standards. I'm Matt Farah, and you are watching Garage419. All right, Wes, let's get this started right now. Electric cars have been around pretty much since the beginning of cars. There's the Baker Electrics with Thomas Edison in the early 1900s, moving right on up to the Teslas and the Chrysler. What is that? NV whatever things.
NV program.
Yeah,
with the Dodge EV. And,
yeah,
all the like Town and Country and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, I've got a whole bunch of things to say about the Chrysler Town and Country EV. Believe me. So I don't. And all these electric cars that have been coming out, none of them have really been that advanced to the point where it's like I would actually want one.
Well, the thing is, they aren't advanced enough to exist. I think is the problem.
Yeah.
Anybody can put an EV badge on the side of a plastic car, roll it out, and say this car does a million miles per gallon, and it does a million miles per hour, and it's going to cost $3, and everybody's going to save the world, and unicorns are going to come alive again. But ultimately, it's just a sticker.
Right. Have any of these electric cars really been able to get, say, over 250 miles to a charge, and really been able to match these performance claims? I know the Tesla is quick, but it doesn't really hold its juice, and it's not really that reliable. And yet, and
it costs a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
You're basically getting a really expensive Lotus Elise that you can't drive for more than like 150 miles.
Right. Like, what are the odds that, like, let's say you get a Lotus Elise for 50 grand, brand new. The Tesla's 120. Where is that $70,000, going to come from? I think the problem is, at the end of the day, the consumer wants to save money. You know what I mean? There's someone who has enough money already where it's like, I'm going to show people that I'm going to save the environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a Tesla for that person, you know what I mean, who never drives more than 30 miles per hour.
But how many people are like that can blow 70 grand on like being pretentious?
Yeah, there's like 12. Yeah. That's why they've sold about 12 cars.
There's like George Clooney and like Cameron Diaz.
I saw Jamie Lee Curtis driving one. In
that's like the extent of that market. And now for some reason like Chrysler's like, oh, we're gonna get on that. Those 12 people, we're gonna get like 3 of them.
That's the other thing is why is it that Chrysler is determined to build this EV program when they kind of already know, like, haven't they all figured out that electric vehicles are not going to be what saves the planet?
It's marketing guff. You know, and it's their attempt to like go back to Nancy Pelosi in Congress and say, hey, look, we're building cars that are going to save the planet. And the technology doesn't actually exist to build the Dodge EV. Like the battery technology does not exist. The motors do. We have great electric motors. We don't have the batteries to deliver the range or the reliability or the not catch on firiness.
Right. And speaking of great electric motors, then there's Shelby Supercars, of course, the Ultimate Aero TT, fastest production car in the world. Production is a term used very loosely in that case.
Since there's like 3 of them.
I think there's 7 or 8. Either way, it doesn't matter. The Ultimate Aero EV, fastest electric car in the world. Apparently, and this is apparently from a press release from them. We got twin 500 horsepower electric motors and a new kind of revolutionary battery that will allow the car to go 150 plus miles and charge in 10 minutes.
Those press releases are great products, man.
Listen. SSC claimed they had the fastest car in the world before, and I didn't believe them, and then they did. So God bless them for that. And twin 500 horsepower electric motors, I'm sure, will make the car very, very fast, right? But really? I mean, really?
Yeah, 1,000 horsepower is awesome. 1,000, whatever pound-feet of torque from 0 RPM is even more awesome.
Yeah.
But, will we ever drive that car? Will it ever be at a dealership for us to buy? Will it actually recharge in the time that Cleveland's going to recharge? I just don't see how that's going to happen.
Look, if they really have a battery pack that can be charged in 10 minutes, sell it to anyone.
Chrysler will buy it.
Chrysler will buy it with our money for a ton, and then get out of there and sit on your prototype car and go on vacation.
Exactly.
Let's move along. While we're sort of on this Chrysler tip, Chrysler has been having a lot of fun with our money. They get their nice chunk of the bailout, And then they've got these ideas of what to do with our money. Oh, this is good. So we've gotten the electric cars down. We've gone over that. The Envy program.
The fictional electric cars. Let's be very clear here.
These cars are, in fact, fictional. And I know you may have seen one at an auto show, Detroit or LA. I saw one too. It had an exhaust pipe on it. Okay? But, so we've got, they're partnering with Fiat. They sold a 35% stake in Chrysler to Fiat. And there's no cash changing hands, but they're bringing 7 new models to the U.S., and then they're going to send a couple Chryslers overseas. So we're looking at the Fiat Panda, or a variation of it, the 500, and then some other ones I've never heard of, right?
Yeah, and it's sort of funny, the solution to fix a mismanaged American company that has labor issues is to combine with a mismanaged Italian company, of all things, that has labor issues.
And a tranny for a boss.
Yeah, and a tranny for a boss.
Look it up, trust me. And so, but wait, it gets better. So the 2 cars they're going to export from Chrysler, they're going to use Fiat's distribution network to send the Dodge Dakota and the Dodge Journey to South America. How appropriate is that?
We couldn't make this stuff up. It's ridiculous. It's just
Chrysler is so comical. I love Chrysler. Okay, we'll continue. Look at this more. Have you ever heard of a jobs bank?
I haven't actually heard of a jobs bank. I mean, I don't really understand what it does.
This is new to me. I just learned about this. Okay, when an American car company, I don't even know if these exist or have to exist in any other country but here. When an American car company shuts down production for a few months because they are broke and can't make cars, they have what's called a jobs bank. So all the people in the factories go into this jobs bank where they get paid and have health insurance, but they're not working, okay? And I guess someone thought this was a good idea. I guess it's better than laying them off. Yeah, it was probably a Fiat move. But as of Monday, Chrysler's jobs bank is no longer. They don't want to spend the money on paying these people while they're not building cars. Instead, they have chosen to sponsor Terminator 4. Terminator 4.
Which actually looks really good in the trailer. So
oh yeah, I bet it'll be awesome.
It could be a wise investment.
Look, Christian Bale's playing John Connor.
You never know.
Christian Bale playing John Connor might be cool, okay? But the Chrysler spokesperson said that Chrysler and the Terminator series have long-standing ties, which makes me laugh because I looked up the Terminator movies, and the only appearance of any Chrysler vehicle in the Terminator films is the 1980s Dodge police car that they stole.
Yeah, the only vehicle I associate with Terminator brand at all is that Harley Fat Boy that Schwarzenegger rides in the second movie.
Yeah, well, there's a Harley. I think the first one he had like a Vega or something. T2, there's the Harley, obviously, and then the Bronco and the wood-sided wagon they steal. T3, Toyota Tundra, and a Lexus, but I don't see Chryslers anywhere. So that obviously is what they think is a wise decision.
Better than paying American workers.
Better than paying the American workers in the jobs bank. Coming up, we're going to talk about Obama and his decision to allow states to choose their own emission standards, as well as the revelation of who is the Stig. Stick around. And we're back. President Obama, new president, love him. Go Obama, yay. He has decided to basically reverse everything that Bush has done in the first week of his presidency, which for most cases is a good call. On the other hand, he's decided to, reportedly has decided to allow California and the 13 states that follow it to set their own emission standards. Wes, explain to me, explain to the people out there how this is going to be a huge problem for everybody.
Well, obviously, setting different emission standards requires people to build different cars, or build cars with different spec. Now, our car industry and the car industry in general, even the Japanese manufacturers, has no money.
Right.
In fact, the money they do have, we gave them.
Yeah.
So now you're asking them, with the limited funds that we gave them, to try to be profitable and try to build these responsible businesses, but now they have this huge financial burden of now building cars just for California.
What if what if they had to just make all the cars fit those emission standards? Is that an impossibility?
It's not an impossibility, but it just costs lots of money.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of money. It's great. We're going to save the polar bears, and the penguins are going to be happier. But ultimately, it's a lot of money they don't have in the short term. We're trying to boost the economy by these companies making money again, and they're not if they have to do this.
Well, as an ultimate, a long-term goal, it's not a bad idea to have stricter emission standards, better fuel economy standards.
Not at all, but in the short term, it's just bad for business, and we need business right now.
Right now, it's like if they're gonna need another government loan to get there, it's like, did we really help anything by doing this?
Not in the least. And it's not progress.
Yeah, I don't really see that as working out as well as we hope. But on the other hand, a brighter note. Well, actually, I don't know if it's a brighter note. The Stig, apparently, Top Gear's tame racing driver. Some say he has a left thumb for an eyeball and a testicle for a toenail. I'm not really sure. I just made that up on the fly. Apparently, has been revealed as Mr. Ben Collins, a sort of not very well-known race driver who
sort of an out-of-work race driver. We're not questioning his talent because obviously he's a very good driver, better than either of us.
Definitely better than I.
But less glamorous than maybe we hoped he would be.
I hope they don't kill him though. I kind of am a fan of the white Stig. That when Perry McCarthy, the old black Stig, sort of came out in his book that he was the Stig, they jumped him off an aircraft carrier. And that kind of sucked for him, man.
The funny thing is sort of how unmanly his unveiling was. Apparently, he went to an art gallery in England and tried to commission a painting of himself, like as the Stig.
That doesn't give it away.
It's not terribly heroic.
Yeah, it's not. He may have to do something actually heroic, but he did get to play. He was Daniel Craig's stuntman in the new James Bond movie.
Quantum of Solace, yeah, and that's awesome. Those were great racing scenes. I respect the guy. He's obviously a very talented stuntman and driver.
Yeah,
just like, dude, don't go commission a painting of yourself.
I love Top Gear's response.
Just tell girls in bars to sleep with you.
Good call, because I do that and it works out really well. You know what works out for me? Meeting high school kids at car events. That's what I get out of this.
That's
show.
a good plan. I'm gonna steal that from you.
I love Top Gear's response. They've said no, he's not the Stig, and they've reported what Graham Hill. I think I heard Sterling Moss,
the president of the Royal Bank of Scotland.
Yeah, Obama was one, and I think they actually said Gene Sanchez was the Stig. Actually, that's our show for today. You got a question of the day? What do you want to know, Wes? This is completely random right now. What do you want to know from the people?
I don't fucking know. I don't care about the people's opinions. We tell them what to think.
All right, I got one. Do you believe that Shelby Supercars actually can fulfill its claim of a 210-mile-an-hour electric car that runs for 150 miles and can be charged in 10 minutes? Do you believe that? Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. Until next time, thanks, Wes. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you soon. I'm Matt Farah, and I will see you this Thursday when I test drive my favorite of electric hybrid vehicles, the Cadillac Escalade. I'm out of here.